For 13 million years, a geological giant has reigned through tempestuous ages, not by brute force, but by the patient hand of eternity. Isolated off the southeastern tip of Australia, this island has forged its own world, a living laboratory of evolution. On land, once a human prison, now thrives a domain named for shadow, a potent reminder that the wild has never truly vanished. This is Tasmania, a living manifesto of nature where every moment is a miracle waiting to be uncovered. Along Tasmania's rugged northeast coast stretches a ribbon of shore that seems to glow from within the Bay of Fires, where light and color defy reason. At first glance, it feels as though the Earth itself is ablaze colossal granite boulders, blaze with hues of brilliant orange and ember red, scattered across pristine white sands, carved from light itself. Yet there is no fire here. The dancing flames on these rocks are life, a delicate bloom of lichen, a symbiotic fusion of fungus and algae, painting this coastline across centuries, a living fire patient and eternal. As the sun climbs, each boulder ignites as if energized. The fiery oranges deepen, and the deep blue ocean transforms into a vibrant turquoise that almost hums. The contrast is mesmerizing. Fire against ice, warmth against stillness. Touch these blazing stones, and you feel no scorching heat, but a surprising coolness, as if you're touching the heart of an enchanted iceberg. It's a vivid, stunning illusion, a testament to nature's profound artistry. Let your soul sink into the breathtaking grandeur of Freycinet National Park. This colossal masterpiece, sculpted over millennia by wind, water, and time, rises with an almost mythical grace. Its granite peaks, especially the iconic Hazards Range, thrust skyward in signature rosy pinks and pale grays, igniting brilliantly at dawn as if lit from within, promising a day of enchantment. Below them, Wineglass Bay reveals itself as a perfect crescent, its velvety white sands embracing waters of such crystal-clear aquamarine that they perfectly mirror every cloud in the sky. From above, this vista is almost surreal, a meticulously carved slice of paradise shaped by the patient hand of creation. Natural currents also etch strange patterns onto the rocks, like abstract paintings of time, waiting for those who would decipher their silent mysteries. Yet the very name Wineglass Bay carries a hushed memory, an indelible scar of history. In the 19th century, as whaling ships anchored in this tranquil cove, the bay frequently ran red with blood. Viewed from the cliffs, it must have looked like a chalice filled with dark wine, a grim toll paid for humanity's thirst for oil and power. Locals still whisper that on moonless nights, a faint lament can sometimes be heard echoing from the depths. The spectral cries of mighty whale souls trapped in a tragic past, chilling anyone who dares to listen. Maria Island rises from the Tasman Sea like a silent masterpiece, a place where time has softened every edge. The ruins of old penal settlements lie beneath layers of moss and ivy, their walls breathing with the forest that has claimed them. Here history feels less like a wound and more like a whisper. Stone foundations fading into root systems, rusted bars entwined with vines. What was once a place of confinement has become an open sanctuary, a reminder that nature always writes the final chapter. Along its coast, the painted cliffs glow with stripes of orange, yellow, and amber intricate patterns formed by minerals and sands compressed over millennia. As sunlight dances across their surface, the rocks seem to shift and breathe, a living mural painted by wind, sea, and time. Waves gently lap beneath, polishing the cliff bases as if the ocean itself is nurturing them. And across the open plains, the island's true sovereigns roam freely. Wombats, stout, steadfast, and unhurried, move with the calm authority of creatures who know they belong. They traverse old prison yards and sleep beneath the very foundations convicts once walked digging deep into the earth to build their homes. On Maria Island, the wild has gracefully reclaimed the past. On Tasmania's far southeastern edge, the Tasman Peninsula feels ripped from another era, a place where beauty and brutality intertwine. A place where beauty and brutality intertwine. As the sun dips below the horizon, the grey cliffs shift to purples and steel blues, and for a moment you feel like you stand at the very end of the world, gazing upon a planet, remembering its own creation. Eaglehawk Neck, where the land narrows to a fragile strip, is where freedom and desperation once converged. Here, convicts dreamed of escape, but the very earth conspired against them. The neck was guarded by savage dogs trained to kill. Even now, locals whisper that when the wind sweeps through the narrow land, you can still hear their howls, a ghostly chorus echoing on the salty air. Beneath the waves, the sea holds its own secrets, rusted shackles, fragments of chains, swallowed by the abyss, silent witnesses to human despair and nature's cold mercy. Further along the coast, the tessellated pavement unveils a geometry so precise it seems impossible. As the tide recedes, the rocks shimmer in perfect symmetry. Tiles laid by some ancient architect, a mosaic crafted by water and time. Under a full moon, the tidal pools reflect the night sky, and legend says those who gaze into them might glimpse their fate reflected in the stars. At Cape Hoey, the cliffs climb even higher, plunging straight into the churning ocean. Sharp dolerite columns rise like the spines of a sleeping giant. The wind roars through the gaps, and each gust feels like the breath of something vast and unseen, a reminder that this coast has never been tamed. Where the Tasman Sea meets the Southern Ocean, life endures. On the Western Islands, thousands of Australian fur seals bask on black rocks, their sleek bodies gleaming in the sun. Once hunted to near extinction, they have returned, brave, resilient, and vibrantly alive. They dive into the icy waters and emerge again, carrying the story of the ocean's fierce vitality. Cradle Mountain stands as a rocky crown against the Tasmanian sky, a monument to Earth's ancient pulse. Its jagged spine slices through the clouds like the back of a living creature. And when the coldest winter nights descend, the mountain seems to awaken. For the Palawa people, this was no ordinary peak. They called it the Cradle of Creation, where the first spirits shaped the world. Locals swear they've heard it sigh, a deep groan echoing through the glacial valleys as if some ancient giant is stirring in its icy slumber. At the foot of this slumbering giant lies Dove Lake, carved by glaciers, millennia ago a dark mirror, held in the Earth's stony palm. Its surface is so still it reflects every nuance of the sky fire at dawn, steel at midday, silver at dusk. But sometimes, when the mists descend, the reflection shifts. Shapes appear, shapes that shouldn't be moving silently beneath the shroud of fog. Some say the lake remembers all it has seen: the first ice, the first creatures, the first people who came to pray at the mountain's feet. It does not forget. The 6-kilometer circuit track hugs the lake's edge like a tranquil ribbon, tracing the precipice where mountain and reflection meet. Every step feels both fragile and eternal, as if the very earth is holding its breath. A land that few have touched, and even fewer have truly seen. Where the air is crisp, the forests run deep, and Tasmania reveals its oldest secret, Franklin Gordon Wild Rivers National Park, the heart of the island's vast southwest wilderness. Towering mountains here are not merely petrified waves. They are immense stone ramparts guarding an ancient secret, where species of plants and insects found nowhere else have survived unchanged, for millions of years living fossils. Valleys plunge into shadow, where sunlight rarely touches, and glacial lakes slumber under perpetual mist, so cold they feel as though time itself has paused. Deep within these forests grow the Huon pines, some more than 3,000 years old. These are not just trees. They are timekeepers, silent deities. Their pale trunks shimmer in the dim light, smooth as bone, and if you press your ear to their bark, it is said you can hear the whispers of millennia, of history tales, of creatures that survived empires, storms, and every upheaval this island has ever known. The Franklin and Gordon rivers carve through this dense emerald labyrinth, winding like veins through the wilderness. Their tea-stained waters, darkened by tannins from ancient peat, hold a fearsome power. Locals don't say, "You raft the Franklin." They whisper, "You surrender to it, or it will swallow you whole." Yet the forest holds its ghosts. Some swear they've seen faint, striped blurs of a thylacine. The Tasmanian tiger, slipping through the twilight fog. Not a creature of flesh and blood, but a restless spirit still roaming for its lost home. Legend says, those who accidentally encounter the thylacine ghost will be shown a glimpse of Tasmania's future, but at the cost of falling into a deep slumber for several days. Here, the line between life and death becomes its most fragile. In the heart of Mount Field's wilderness, the world grows strange. It's a place where beauty carries an unsettling edge, where silence presses against the skin and time itself seems to breathe. At its summit, Field West stands like the spine of an ancient beast, cold, windswept, and profoundly lonely. Those who have reached its peak tell the same unsettling tale. The higher you climb, the quieter it becomes, until even your own heartbeat feels too loud. There, under the weight of the clouds, the air itself seems distorted. Field West doesn't merely test endurance, it bends reality, turning time itself into a silent predator. Far below, the wind carries a different sound, the eternal call of Russell Falls. Its cascading beauty draws thousands, yet its allure isn't always gentle. Visitors have recounted hearing their names called in the mist, whispered so softly it feels more like thought than sound. Perhaps it is the voice of the river, or perhaps the restless spirits of those who found release in its depths. Above the forest, Seeger's Lookout stands like a watchtower to forgotten histories. The view from here is spectacular, endless valleys, rivers winding through green shadows. But the silence feels heavy, as if the forest below is listening. Lake Fenton, a mirror of ghosts. Its dark, still waters are said to retain whatever they claim: tools, relics, travelers, even souls. Palawa elders warned never to stare too long into its depths, for the lake doesn't merely reflect. Those who stood too long often walked away in silence, unsure from which side they had returned. But it's Tasmania's smallest creature that embodies this delicate balance most profoundly, the Tasmanian Devil. Its name is myth, but its growl is real enough to chill the night air. With dark fur and a white-striped chest, it moves like a shadow of the island's past, fierce, wary, and wounded. Its bite is the strongest among mammals of its size, a power it never flaunts, used only when cornered. In its eyes, one sees both the fear and the defiance of an ancient world, still fighting to survive. Leaving the damp embrace of the ancient forests, you step into the vibrant pulse of urban life. At first glance, Hobart offers a gentle welcome. A harbour city bathed in watercolour light, cottage homes clinging to sandstone slopes above the Derwent River. The air carries the faint scent of salt and wood smoke. The harbour glitters with an odd, antique serenity. Beneath these polished streets, whispers tell of forgotten tunnels dug long ago by convict hands. Some say they were escape routes, others conduits for dark dealings never recorded. And beyond the harbour lights, the sea holds its own secrets. Fishermen still speak of ghost ships, dimly appearing on misty nights, masts gliding silently through the fog sails, glowing faintly with bioluminescence. Nestled 25 kilometres from Hobart, Richmond emerges with a serene and historic beauty. Distinguished by its quaint old houses and cobbled streets, Richmond bears the profound imprint of its colonial past. Walking across Richmond Bridge feels like traversing the city's rich history, fully absorbing the ancient whispers. It stands as a testament to skilled hands working under pressure, a legacy of a painful past transformed into a symbol of connection and resilience. Rising 271 metres above the harbour Kunanyi, Mount Wellington is not merely a mountain, but a presence, a living force that shapes the very atmosphere of everything below. Its massive silhouette looms over rooftops and rivers, a constant reminder that nature defines this horizon. From the city streets, you can watch the mountain change by the hour. In the morning, it hides behind mist, pale and ghostly, as if undecided whether to reveal itself. By noon, the clouds part and light floods its ridges, illuminating the dolerite cliffs in hues of bronze and gold. Then just as suddenly, the weather shifts. Sun gives way to hail, wind to silence, stillness to thunder. It's the mountain's own volatile temperament, unpredictable and absolute. The summit, when clear, is a place of astonishing grandeur. The Palawa call it the sleeping ancestor, a mountain that watches and remembers. Climbers have recounted strange lights flickering on its slopes at night and voices echoing in the wind when no one else is there. Beneath its forests, the overgrown traces of old quarries, wartime bunkers, and plain wreckage lie consumed by moss and time. It's said that sometimes compasses spin wildly near the peak as if the mountain's magnetic heart still beats. Amidst Tasmania's most spectacular coastal scenery, Port Arthur stands as a living paradox where heavenly beauty and hellish memory coexist on the same ground. Sunlight filters through the ruins of sandstone walls, moss-covered and stained by time, rendering everything both gentle and chilling. Wind from the sea whistles through rusted bars, producing strange sounds like whispers from the past. Once dubbed the British Empire's perfect prison child, chains weren't needed here, only silence. Convicts were held in absolute solitary confinement, forbidden to speak, forbidden to hear human voices. Many lost their minds within their own thoughts, and those who attempted escape were often swallowed by the sea without a trace. Perhaps that is why, even today, tales persist of calls from the mist rising at dusk, whispers that do not belong to the living. Ironically, the very place that once confined and crushed human spirits now basks in the sun, is celebrated as a World Heritage Site. But if you stand still, long enough amidst the lapping waves and the cries of seabirds, you will sense something else, as if Port Arthur is still watching, never truly letting go. Hidden beneath a quiet vineyard on the banks of the Derwent River, the Museum of Old and New Art. Mona feels less like a museum and more like a descent into the human mind itself. Visitors enter not through grand marble steps, but by spiraling deep underground into chambers carved directly from ancient rock. A strange harmony of contrasts, ancient Egyptian relics beside contemporary machines that pulse and breathe like living things. Mona doesn't explain itself. It confronts you, it whispers, provokes, and occasionally disturbs. One moment you're standing before a 2,000-year-old sarcophagus. The next, you're facing a modern installation that mimics the human digestive system, or a gallery dedicated to the raw, uncomfortable truths of human mortality. Tasmania has been distilled into art, where silence feels charged and every corridor feels like a thought you're not supposed to have. Our encounter with Leven Canyon plunges you into a profound chasm, where the very ground seems to drop away unceremoniously, an incision so deep, so abrupt, that standing at its rim feels like peering into a primal scream of geology. "275 meters, that's over 900 feet of sheer rock walls, plummet to the Leven River, below a ribbon of water carving its relentless path. The sheer verticality here is shocking. It's less a canyon and more a sudden gaping maw, as if the earth itself decided to cleave in two, leaving an impossible void. Look closely at those impossible cliffs. Ancient trees, gnarled and defiant, cling with an almost desperate tenacity, their roots seeking purchase on the sheer face, and waterfalls thunder down. A living testament to the relentless will to survive against all odds. And down in the hushed undergrowth, a rustle. The Tasmanian echidna, a creature from another epoch, shuffles through the leaf litter, its impossibly long tongue searching for ants. A bizarre, endearing touch of life in this monumental silent realm. It's a place that forces you to grasp the raw, unadulterated power of water and rock, a humbling spectacle that truly makes you feel the fragility of your own foothold on this planet. Journeying to the island's far northwest, an almost mythical silhouette rises abruptly from the Bass Strait, the Nut. This isn't merely a hill, it's a geological colossus, a colossal flat-topped volcanic plug, standing 143 meters over 460 feet tall, like a timeless fortress against the Southern Ocean's relentless assault. Imagine the raw fury of a volcano magma surging, then solidifying deep within its throat. Over millions of years, the softer surrounding rock was mercilessly eroded by wind and waves, leaving behind only this unyielding, solidified core. A stark, unadorned monument to geological tenacity. Its sheer, dark cliffs command the landscape, an ancient guardian of the coastal town of Stanley, nestled at its base. The curiosity here isn't just in its dramatic form, but in the story etched into its very stone. A tale of primordial fire and unimaginable time. Whether you ascend its flanks via the gentler walking track or the exhilarating chairlift, the vista from its summit is a powerful reminder of how powerfully Earth's ancient processes shape our present. It's a place that feels simultaneously immovable and strangely vulnerable, an iconic landmark that truly embodies the enduring spirit of Tasmania's rugged geological past. Deep within these primordial woodlands, hidden away like whispered secrets, we discover Tasmania's Cascade Country. These aren't merely torrents of water, they are living tapestries of liquid grace. Philosopher Falls, Pelver Falls, each more enchanting than the last. Behold water impossibly pure, tumbling through chambers of rock draped in emerald moss, creating delicate veils that feel like tears wept through ancient forests. Or sometimes, with a sudden exhilarating roar, they plunge between lush green walls, a vibrant emerald symphony. The air itself feels ancient, clean and cool, carrying the scent of damp earth and verdant growth. This absolute stillness, this primeval serenity, can be almost shocking in its intensity, a powerful antidote to the relentless pace of contemporary life. And now we delve deeper into one of Earth's last true wildernesses, the Tarkine. This vast temperate rainforest is more than just a collection of trees. It is a breathing, living relic, a direct link to the supercontinent Gondwana, a remaining piece of a prehistoric world. Moss hangs from every limb and branch, like verdant curtains, creating ethereal shimmering passageways, while colossal tree ferns open like ancient umbrellas, forming a tiered green canopy that filters the light into dappled patterns. It's an architecture of nature, crafted over millennia, that is both immense and intricately detailed. The fascination here lies beneath your feet. The forest floor is a perpetually damp tapestry of decaying leaves, a rich, fertile layer that has been composting for decades. Fueling a complex web of life invisible to the casual eye. This is where the true pulse of the rainforest resonates. A hidden world of fungi, insects, and microorganisms working in silent concert. And then a fleeting glimpse in the early morning mist at the very edge of this colossal forest. The diminutive, shy Padamelon wallabies emerge to graze, a gentle, elusive presence in this otherwise overwhelming natural symphony. Off the southern coast of Tasmania lies Bruny Island, a place where beauty and fragility walk hand in hand, an island that feels like an entire world condensed into a single breath. Its landscapes seem impossible, mountains wrapped in mist, turquoise shallows melting into deep blue oceans, and ancient forests leaning toward roaring winds from the Southern Ocean. This profound isolation isn't just a geographical fact. It's the crucible that forged Bruny's unique identity, allowing nature to persist in its most raw and astonishing forms. At the heart of this delicate wonder lies the neck, a sliver of golden sand less than 100 meters wide, tethering North and South Bruny like a thread of silk. Standing atop its wooden steps, the wind whips around you, a palpable reminder that this thin artery of sand is battling a furious sea. On one side, Adventure Bay laps gently, its waters a jade calm, mirroring the sky. On the other, the Southern Ocean, untamed and relentless, smashes against the shore with a primeval roar, eroding the land inch by inch. It's a terrifyingly beautiful tightrope, a fragile truce between two worlds. At its southernmost tip, perched precariously on a wind-swept bluff, stands the Cape Bruny Lighthouse. More than just a beacon, it's a sentinel on the edge of the habitable world, quite literally the last sign of land before Antarctica. Here, the air itself feels different, pristine, sharp, and undeniably the cleanest on Earth, having traveled thousands of miles. Across an unbroken expanse of wild ocean. It's a place of profound solitude where the vastness of the world truly becomes palpable. Here, cut off from mainland predators and human interference, evolution has taken a fascinating, almost whimsical turn. Among the coastal heathlands and eucalypt forests roam the white wallabies of Bruny, those ghost-like creatures found nowhere else on Earth. Their pale fur gleams against the green landscape, not an illusion, but the result of a rare genetic mutation. Overhead, basking and playing on the rocks, are the seals, a living testament to nature's healing power. Just off the coast of Freycinet on Tasmania's rugged eastern shore, Diamond Island rises like a sliver of light against the vast Pacific. A narrow stretch of sand connects it to Redbill Beach, a shimmering causeway that appears and disappears with the tides, as if nature itself can't decide whether the island should remain a secret. From above, the coastline curves like a brushstroke of white and turquoise, with waves tracing perfect arcs onto the shore. Along the cliffs, gulls cry into the wind, while cormorants spread their wings to dry in the sun. At dusk, the island transforms the famous little penguins of Freycinet waddle ashore in disciplined procession, their calls echoing softly through the twilight. Diamond Island is both wild and gentle, a place where the ocean's force meets a fragile ecosystem of rare beauty. The water glows almost impossibly clear, revealing kelp forests, swaying beneath the surface like slow green flames. Tasmania is not merely a repository of the past, but a living laboratory of evolution. Its isolation has crafted a world of surreal beauty, bizarre creatures, and a history steeped in triumph and struggle.